Hey, all you users out there, welcome back to DIYNAT. I have a review of the Klein cable stapler. So let's take a look at this. Klein is noted for making very high quality tools. I have a lot of screwdrivers, pliers, things from them. Stuff has always been top notch. And you pay a little more, but you get what you pay for. So I was kind of surprised to find out that this leaves something to be desired. Let's take a closer look at it. Now, first of all, there are a couple of adjustments on it you have to be aware of. It is designed to shoot staples from a quarter inch wide up to 31/64. So I guess that's the 31/64. That's the biggest one. So I'd use that for Romex, regular house wiring, and then they have smaller sizes for different communication cables. So there is an adjustment on here. When you're shooting the larger staples, you have to turn this little lever there to the larger one, and then it goes back to. If you're using the small staples, you put it on there. So I'm not sure exactly what that does, but it does do some kind of adjustment. Adjustment is the foot here. For the smaller staples, it is positioned all the way to the bottom, but if you're going to drive the larger ones, you have to slide it up. It's a little difficult to slide. There's a tab that has to be depressed on both sides, but you barely have any room to depress it and get your fingers out of the way in order to slide the thing up. So that wasn't the most, I don't think that was the best design there. A little bit annoying. The slide that puts the tension on the staples in order to fire them is a little stiff. There's a little button lever here you have to push, and they don't give you a lot to hold on to, and it's a little reluctant to come out of there. Sometimes you have to kind of wiggle it a little bit. It might loosen up in time, but normally with a stapler, it just pops right off. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. The staples load in the bottom. You slide them down in there, move them to the front, and then slide all the way in, and it tends to catch on the edge of the staples there, so sometimes you have to kind of do it with both hands, which is kind of odd. So some quirks to it, nothing that couldn't be overcome, but ergonomically it isn't the most pleasant thing to use. Now the real issue with it is the effectiveness of it. I don't have a piece of Romex laying around here, so I'm just going to use an extension cord to demonstrate. So I don't know how well you can see that. There's a notch in the front and in the back, so the stapler goes down over the top of the cable, and then you just lean into it and fire it. And so here's the main problem. See that? It doesn't hold well at all. Normally, most of the time you'd probably be going into 2x4s. I got a 2x4 here, and it just does not secure the cable. So it's very loose. Obviously you can put more staples in, but it's very loose, and I don't know how well you'll be able to see that on the camera. Get that out of the way. It did not, in fact, drive the plastic part went all the way down, but there's actually a gap between the staple and the top of the plastic. There's a little gap in there, so that didn't even actually go all the way down. So it really is not doing a good job securing the cable. I don't know whether an electrical inspector would care one way or another, as long as it wasn't falling out of the wall, but that's pretty lame. So yeah, that's extremely loose. Now obviously you don't want to overdrive it because that could damage the cable, but here's an example of my hammer here. It disappeared as always. Here's an example of just driving again, obviously that takes longer, but you can see I can secure that, and the cable is no longer wobbling back and forth. So I am not too thrilled with this. I think they kind of dropped the ball on it, and as I said, it's a little clunky. The adjustments on it, the slide, it's really not doing the job. So I'm kind of shocked. Klein, as I said, is always high quality, and they needed to put more work into this, because this is not it's not a quality item. You can also see that they come out real easy. I can just show you right here. It's hardly holding at all. Be very easy to grab that cable, and if anybody accidentally yanked on it or got caught on something, it would pop right off the wall. The one here, you can see this one I drove with a hammer. This is much more robust. It does not want to come out of there. In fact, I probably need to get a different tool. I don't want to damage the cable. But you get under there, and it does not want to come out with the two nails in it. So the holding power, it's for again, with communication cables it may not matter, but with Romex for your house, that is really not holding that well enough. I would recommend not buying this. There are other brands that may work better. I know Milwaukee came out with a powered one. I think it's 12 volts, I believe, that works with their 12-volt system. It might be 18, but I thought it was 12. I cannot recall. But anyway, they came out with a powered one, which is obviously going to be quite a bit more expensive than this. But that looked like it was a good solution. So that's an option. And as I said, I think there are other companies that make other variations of this, and maybe theirs aren't any good either. I don't know. I have not tried it with communication cable with Cat5 or coax, so it might work better with the smaller staplers. I don't know, but as far as using this for house wiring is concerned, it's a bust. So if you're an electrician and most of your work is doing regular house wiring, I would not spend the money on it. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you next time.